It's 21-3. That's over now. Is that correct? The Chargers are clinging to a 24-17 lead. Zendejas with a field goal has pulled the Rams within 7 at the Murph. 2:40 to go. Chiefs Seahawks. This one had that stench to it, and look at the score. Chiefs lead at 9-7. There's 3.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Bono in. Montana left with a sprained left foot. Broncos and Bengals teeing it up at Mile High. 2-minute warning now. Denver clinging to a 15-13 lead. Overtime as the Cards came from behind to tie the Bears in the final minute of the game. They won the toss, punted. Bears ball, and they are 16-all in overtime in the desert. And the Giants game with the Redskins is 20 seconds to go. 1 second to go. Washington has the ball, looking for a last gas play. They trail the Giants 21-19. Of course, we got football here tonight, Sunday Night Football. The winner of the Colts-Patriots game at the RCA Dome in Indy will go to 500, and certainly in the AFC, that means you're in the hunt. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, Mark Malone on the call for a preview. Here's Mike.
Thank you, Chris. Two of the NFL's rising stars will be on display tonight, Drew Bledsoe and Marshall Faulk. And this game has playoff implications for both teams. Each is 5-6. The winner moves into a second-place tie in the AFC East and is right back in the playoff hunt. The Colts will get a boost tonight with the debut of rookie linebacker Trev Alberts, who had been injured. For more on that, here's Mark Malone.
Well, thanks, Mike. You'll remember the Colts traded up to the number 5 spot in last year's draft to take the All-American linebacker from Nebraska. But a dislocated elbow in the preseason required reconstructive surgery, and Alberts has spent the last 4 months rehabilitating. The Colts expect to use him tonight in the prevent package, primarily as a pass rusher. And the young Colt, well, he's chomping at the bit, but he knows the long layoff will affect his play.
I'm not expecting to go out there and, be at the top of my game right now. I've had really 2 weeks of practice in pads and pass rushing and working on different things and techniques. So I'm not where I'm going to be, but, I can control one thing, and that's the effort I give and how fast I play and how hard I try. And so that's really my goal. And, I hope good things will happen, and I think they will. But the main thing is just the effort and doing my little part in trying to help this team succeed.
Other injury notes for the Colts. Offensive right tackle Zephros Moss will not play tonight. He has an injured left knee. Journeyman Cecil Gray will start in his place and split time with the rookie Jason Matthews. As for the New England Patriots, Chris, well, they come into this game as healthy as any team can expect to be, especially this time of year.
All right, guys, thank you. It'll be tough for the Colts to do it without Zephros. They'll give it a shot. That's at the top of the hour. We've got plenty to show you here on Week 13 of NFL Prime Time. Hey, some primetime throwers. Jeff George, Randall Cunningham. Two pretty good teams in need of a win. Who won it at the Dawn to Dawn? What if I told you? I'd like to welcome those of you that have watched the Steelers lay one into the silver and black. The Steelers maintain their role. They've won again to stay atop the AFC Central with Cleveland. They beat the Raiders 21-3. The L.A. Rams have the ball with about a minute and a half to go, trailing the Chargers 24-17 at the Murph. Will keep you posted. Under 2 minutes to go, the Seahawks have the ball, trailing the Chiefs 9-7 in the Kingdome. Welcome those of you that have watched the Broncos hold on to even their mark at 6-6, and they beat back the Bengals 15-13. The Butler did it. 27-yard field goal, and how does this sound? The first-place Chicago Bears at 8-4 have beaten the Arizona Cardinals in the desert 19-16. And welcome those of you that have watched the Giants hold on to defeat the Redskins, sweeping for the 5th time in 7 years. The Giants beat the Skins at a rainy RFK 21-19. On prime time, Warren Moon's Vikings in bad need of a win. Well, the Bucs were in, so it'd be easy, right? Think again. Announcing the 18th for more yards than anybody in the NFL. Can he keep throwing? Can he get the Pats to 500? Pats, Colts, Sunday Night Football, 8 Eastern, 5 on the West Coast, 3 in Washington. Welcome back to NFL Prime Time. Familiar territory for our favorite, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as here they were, Week 13, trying to stave off their 12th straight season of losing 10 or more games. But the team they were visiting, the Minnesota Vikings, is in trouble of their own. 2 straight losses made their once safe lead in the NFC Central become a waning crescent moon. And here we go, snowing outside of Minnesota. Good thing this was indoors. #1 rated offense, Vikes. Can they get going? Warren Moon No, he was picked off 4 times last week by the Jets. Tony Kovic didn't let him go. He could go all the way, but he doesn't. Knocked it about to the 6. 3rd and goal. A couple of plays later, into the red zone goes Eric Rant. It's 7-0. The Buccaneers. Second quarter. It's a 7-6 Bucs lead. Eric, he fakes it, gets some good blocks and runs 20 yards, Tom.
Yeah, you see Eric right here do a great job. And look on the inside, John Randall, Roy Barker, these guys have been doing a great job of blocking on John Randall, Henry Thomas. Look at Ian Beckles get out front, and Red actually gets his hand on the blocker. That's a nice job of following your blockers and going and getting 20 yards.
3 plays later, of course you're going to go for it, says Sam. And Craig Erickson sneaks for the first down. Watch Courtney Hawkins. You think he got the measurement? He's all excited. Number 86. Yes, let's put it down. Put it down. What do you think? We got a first. No, but you're going the other way. Courtney, we're going this way. All right, no doubt. Same drive. 1st and 10 of the 15. Erickson fakes the handoff. And now he hits Hawkins. He knows which way he's going now. 14-6. Buccaneers, they lead at 14-9 at the half. Bucs got to Moon all day. Look at Eric Curry. They sacked him 5 times, Tom.
Eric Curry, great speed rush around Todd Stussy at the tackle spot. Gets the arm over, comes around. Moon, no time to get out of the way.
So all of a sudden, the line which had protected Moon, 5 sacks allowed today by the hard-charging Buccaneers. The fans were hard-charging out the door. 1:33 to go. The Bucs lead 17-9. But 2nd and 10. Moon to the missile. Kadri Ismail beats ESPN's Martin Minshew. Had good coverage, but it's now 17-15. He looks up. You know the Vikes have to go for 2. Moon. All he does is catch 2 pointers. It's Chris Conner. Good coverage by Magruder, but, oh, the Bucs, they've seen it before, and the Vikes are tied at 17-17 late. Bucs putting on their own rally cap. That'll work. Overtime. Vikings defense comes alive. Pressuring Erickson, he throws off balance, and they force a punt. But on the punt, Eric Gilliford calls for the fair catch. Ryan Davis bumps into him. The ball is loose, and Brady Bunch lands on it for the Bucs. Sending Michael Husted. The Buccaneers have won for the first time since October 2nd, staving off what seems to be the inevitable. But you never know. The Bucs win in their 3rd straight road tilt. Boy, that's tough. And the Buccaneers shocked the Minnesota Vikings 20-17. And Tom, the Minnesota Vikings have now lost 3 straight. They're 7-2. They go to 7-5, and you got to be a good job by the Bucs. I mean, that actually played well in all 3 of these games on the road. But the Vikings, you're kind of puzzled by them.
Well, with the Buccaneers, we're seeing a more mature Craig Erickson at quarterback, and I think that's because Eric Rett is giving him a running game to balance that offense. But when you look at the Minnesota Vikings, lack of pressure on the quarterback, inability to effectively run the football offensively, and then key mistakes by Warren Moon coming in the form of interceptions.
We talk about wearing down a little on defense, and the Viking defense, Tom, as we go inside the numbers, so opportunistic, especially with the interceptions. First 9 games in which they were 7-2, 23 takeaways and 27 sacks. But the last 3 games, all losses. Just 2 takeaways, 1 sack. And I think we can quote Dennis Green here. He's not happy with it, and he won't stand for it. When we return, the Browns trying to batter their longtime rival, the Houston Oilers, in the muck and the mire on Lake Erie. The San Diego Chargers get an interception return, and so they beat the Rams by 14, 31-17. The Chargers do that, and we warned you, John Casey with a field goal late for Seattle. Bono in trying to get the Chiefs back up. The Seahawks lead at 10-9, but I believe the Seahawks have recovered a fumble, and they're running out the clock. We will keep you posted. Once upon a time, the Houston Oilers, really with a class of the AFC Central, yeah. Cleveland Browns and Houston had some momentous battles. Cleveland back up there. Houston, boy, they're feeling their oats. But you know, they figured that after their Monday night close one, maybe they could play Cleveland tough.
Well, one thing you can say about this series, it has been a closely contested one in recent years. In fact, 6 of the last 7 have been decided by 7 points or less, including the Browns' ugly 11-8 win in Week 7. And speaking of ugly, of course, the Houston Oilers have lost 7 consecutive games. They're hoping to win that first one under new coach Jeff Fisher. The G-men spoiled his debut Monday night. The new offense would struggle early, looking like the old in the first. Lorenzo White runs up the middle for no gain, stopped by Bill Johnson. 2 plays later, 3rd and 7, Billy Joe Tolliver can't find a receiver, so he dumps it to White. Only 2 yards. The Oilers just 182 total yards and 11 first downs all day long. Conservative offense, not on special teams. After a second quarter touchdown by White, Al Del Greco, the onside kick, catching the Browns by surprise, but the Oilers cannot come up with the ball before it goes out of bounds. So it's a Browns ball at the Houston 48-yard line, and Vinny knows what to do in that kind of field position. Testaverde hits Derek Alexander for 21 yards in the first down. One of only 2 catches on the day for Alexander. 3 plays later, Testaverde, with all kinds of time, hits Brian Kitchen with the 11-yard touchdown strike. Kitchen's first touchdown of the season, 17-7 Browns. Now, how did he get open, TJ?
Well, Brian Kitchen lined up at the top of the screen. You see him there spot shadowed against Marcus Robertson. Marcus Robertson takes the inside position right there. Kitchen does a great job of bending him in and then running for the corner.
Vinny's first full game in more than a month. Solid, not spectacular, but getting the job done. In the second half, Art Modell watched his team take advantage of Houston mistakes. Mid-fourth quarter, 27-10 Browns. Billy Joe Tolliver sacked by James Jones, fumbles, and Jones recovers. Then the Browns send Leroy Hoard to work, TJ.
Yeah, Steve Everett, Orlando Brown, Tony Jones, that offensive line opening up tremendous holes all day for Hoard.
On first and goal, next play, Hoard takes it in from 5 yards out, 34-10 Browns. Hoard, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns on 23 carries. Vinny winning back the hearts of the Dog Pound. Cleveland wins it by a final of 34-10, make that 8 straight losses now for Houston. The Browns sweep the Oilers for the first time since '89 and also have won 9 games for the first time since '89, and that Browns team still has not allowed a 100-yard rusher or receiver.
Well, they've allowed, what, like some 5 or 6 touchdowns at home the whole season long?
That's it.
They love that weather in the Dog Pound, don't they? Houston scratching their heads. Well, a couple teams scratching their heads, Rob. A couple of birds of prey. Their talons in need of a little sharpening, I think. The Falcons and the Eagles met in hot Atlanta. Philadelphia looking for some offense these days, but at least Atlanta had their bad moon rising. After a 1-game suspension, he was back believing in himself, and after a while, his teammates did. Certainly quarterback Jeff George did. Early on, Darnell Walker strips the ball from the youngster Charlie Garner. Ken Tippins recovers for Atlanta, who's in business. Jeff George to Terrence Mathis, looking to make the turn on Otis "my man" Smith. 7-0 hot Atlanta.
Yeah, Otis Smith here takes a little bit of bad positioning from the beginning of this play. Lines up inside. Doesn't break on that outside break by Mathis. Doesn't anticipate it. Mathis gets about a 3-yard head start on him to the end zone and beats him by about that measure.
Eagles having problems in the first quarter. Randall play action, but Chuck Smith in his face for the sack. 7-0 Atlanta the second quarter. Cunningham, Herschel Walker, he bowls him over with the pass to Herschel. On the bootleg, Chris Dolman. Hello, he says to Randall. Things go the Eagles' way. Finally, 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Greg Jackson, the former Giant, picks off George. 1 of 3 interceptions by the Eagles today. 1st and 10 for the 9. Look at Randall. Earlier, he leapt over a Falcon player. Does he leap? No, but he pulls his way to the 1-yard line. Later, he dove in to tie the game at 7-7. Only their second touchdown in their last 39 drives, Tom. 13-7 Atlanta in the third quarter. George. I see a bad moon rise. I see trouble on the way. 49 yards. His first reception of the day happened in the third quarter. But watch the next play as George, doink, off the helmet of tackle Mike Ken. Bill Romanowski, the former Niner, picks it off. Rich Kotite says we need to take advantage. First play from scrimmage after that. Herschel. Look at him outrun number 41, Brett Maxey. He could go all the way. 91 yards for Herschel. Tread left on the tire. Eagles lead at 14-13.
Yeah, great run by Herschel Walker, but you get great blocking on a run this long. You're going to see Freddie Barnett right there, seal his man to the outside. Nice seam for Herschel to hit, and he is gone.
The longest run of the NFL since Bo's 92-yarder, and the run itself was more than the Eagles had on offense the entire first half. So Philly leads at 14-13, but Jeff George to Terrence Mathis, and Mathis going to make a big catch for 36 yards. June Jones likes that. He said, let's go 12th of never. So he does. Mathis, 7-yard reception, touchdown. The Falcons go for the 2-point conversion. George to Mathis, 21-14 Atlanta. Last 2 games, 18 catches for Mathis, the former Jet. 28-14 Falcons late in the game, but Eric Allen keeps the Eagles' hopes alive with the pick on George and returns it deep into Atlanta territory. That would set up a Herschel Walker. Oh, they go way deep for this. It's the longest 2-yard run in the history of the NFL. But Herschel's good to running long today, and it's a 28-21 Falcon lead. 23 seconds to go. The Eagles have a last shot. Look at Cunningham. You know he can air it almost the distance of the field. Down by a touchdown. He fires. Victor Beetle Bailey makes the catch. Tick, 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 tick. Look at Scott Case. Don't get up, don't get up, don't get up. Come on, Eagles. Get up there. 8, 7. They have no timeout. Tick, 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 tick. Hurry up. Throw it down. Get the ball. 2, 1. Where's the gun? They don't get the ball, and they don't get the win. The Eagles have lost for the 3rd in a row, so they and the Vikings have gone backwards from 7-2 to 7-5. The Falcons back up to 500 at 6-6. So Atlanta wins it 28-21, 364 yards passing for Jeff George. For Terrence Mathis, 10 for $124 gives him 90 for 1,073 yards, Tom. So Terrence Mathis certainly impressive today. And the Eagles, again, like the Vikings, you got to scratch your head at them.
Well, it's a team searching for offensive identity. You can't tell whether they really want to primarily run the ball or pass the ball offensively, and yet they have one of the most versatile backs in the game in Herschel Walker, an outstanding rusher as well as a receiver. But this team has to figure out what they want to do with the football. And when you think about Andre Rison and you watch his return, you can see how important he is to the other receivers in this offense. Terrence Mathis, 10 catches on the day because of the kind of attention that Andre Rison gets.
Rison caught 4 balls in the second half for 92 yards. He's a good kid, and maybe now he sees he went over the line. And if he's back, maybe the Falcons are back. They're in the hunt now at 6-6. Hey, Terrence Mathis, 4 years with the Jets, 93 catches for 1,200-plus yards. 12 games with Atlanta, 90 catches for 1,073 yards and 10 touchdowns. Run and shoot, indeed. When we return, talking about running and shooting, Dan Marino at his finest. Second half of the Dolphins against the Jets. We'll show you.
Today on The Joy of Cooking, how to smoke a puck. Take 12 guys, tough, dress them heavily, put them on ice. Take 1 puck, drop it, add sticks, add skates, mix on high speed, 2 parts drop pass, 3 parts fake shot, equal parts velocity, speed, and adrenaline. Stuff some D, ouch, add 210 pounds of hip check, then top it off with a blistering slapper. Voila, smoked puck. Dig in, NHL 95. EA Sports. It's in the game.
If Miami could beat the Jets, they'd have a 2-game lead in the division because, of course, Buffalo already losing Thanksgiving back to 6-6. If the Jets could win, remember they beat Miami 3 straight at the Meadowlands, 7 of the last 9 going in. The Jets would be F-I-R-S-T, first. So let's see what happened at the Meadowlands. Don Shula with a guy about half his age, Pete Carroll, the first-year coach of the New York Jets. Boomer Esiason goes for experience. He goes for guys really having a much better year than even the Jets had hoped for. Off the mark from White Plains, New York. A reception in 176 straight games now, just 1 shy of the all-time mark, held by U.S. Representative and former Seahawk Steve Largent. Then, Boomer to Rob Moore. With or without the cast, he makes the great catch, beating Gene Atkins. But the Jets only get a field goal, some shaky running plays. They lead it 3-0. Marino wins some early trouble. James Hasty, number 40, makes the interception look like a mix-up in routes. Miami still has not scored a first-quarter touchdown all year. Hasty returns it to the Dolphin territory.
You said it, Boom. A little bit of miscommunication here between Marino and Ingram. Ingram breaks the route outside, but you see Hasty do a good job of coming back. Now he's reading Marino's eyes right there, focuses in on the ball, makes a nice INT.
So in the second quarter, here the Jets a good field position at the Miami 38. The quick out to Art Monk, and Monk turns it upfield for 18. Jets get it down to the 1. They go for it at 4th and 1. Now second quarter, Esiason has him fooled. To James Gordon, get up. Oh, he can't get up. Tim Bowens, the rookie, makes the tackle, and the Dolphins hold on down. Marino interception, gives the ball back to Boomer and company. They drive to the 30. Play action. Oh, Boomer looks so good doing this. Wide open, Johnny Mitchell. 30 yards. Touchdown. 10-0 Jets. Get at the break. Third quarter. Jets look for more. Don Shula knows he's seen this before at the Meadowlands. Esiason, want to watch concentrate. Oh, Art Monk makes the catch. He takes it away from Troy Vincent, 23, and he rumbles 69 yards. The better of a run. Till he's knocked out of bounds at the 3. Rob Moore, Johnny Mitchell with blocks. Setting up the fullback for the Jets. Brad Baxter rustles into the end zone. 17-0 Jets. Dan Marino says, "Oh, Nelly." So he doesn't go to Keith Jackson on this play. A big third down guy for them. Oh, you're looking at him step up and avoid the rush. Oh, Jay McDuffie at 3rd and 7 at the first down. Then Marino. Guy played many of his games at the Meadowlands. Mark Ingram between 2 Jets. Touchdown, 10 yards. Missed the 2-point conversion. So it's 17-6 Jets for Pete Carroll. 4th and 4 at the Miami 30. Jets going to go for it. Esiason, Johnny Mitchell, 15 yards and a first down. 1st and 10 of the 15 now. Esiason, look at him fake. Look at him freeze the defense. Look at him find the tight end. Look at the Jets blow it open. 24-6. You had to be an idiot to think the Jets could lose this game at the Meadowlands. But Marino will not be outdone. Marino, shotgun. As Tom told you on game day to look for it. Mark Ingram makes the catch, takes it away from James Hasty. Then, Marino, he likes that jingle, doesn't he? Marino to Ingram. Good coverage by Aaron Glenn, Tommy, but 17 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, Marino does a great job here of throwing this ball on a flat line. And if you're the defender and you don't get your head back and see the ball, odds are you're never going to knock it down. Then Miami decides to go for 2. You're going to see Irving Fryer on the same route, shorter. Signals behind him. I imagine throw the ball short and behind me. I'll read it. The DB will never have a play on it. Marino makes the throw and Fryer with a great grab.
So it's 24-14, though. Don Shula still needs some points. Boomer Esiason looks for more. Play action. It had been so good for him. But number 23, Troy Vincent, steps in front of the Wet Bay receiver. He's got a convoy, and Miami in business. That eventually leads to Marino, leading him up to the 28-yard line of the Jets. Roll out. Mo Lewis started to rush. Good block there. Touchdown to Mark Ingram. 3rd TD of the game. 24-21, Miami within 3. Then watch this series by the Jets. It's unbelievable. Tim Bowen. Are they going to gamble of him in the draft? Boy, he's been a great play. Forces a fumble. Richie Anderson falls on it. Then, Tim Bowen up the middle. Forces a fumble. Jets recover. Another play. Forces a fumble. Jets recover. Then, on the punt, O.J. McDuffie. Hit by Glenn Contreras. Another fumble. 4 straight fumbles recovered by the Jets. It's amazing. But prosperity. Just sit on it. They can't. J.B. Brown, as Boomer throws in a double coverage, gives the Dolphins another chance. And you give Marino another chance, ask the Vikings. He'll nail you. 18 yards over the middle. Irving Fryer slices to the defense. 2 plays later. Oh, Nelly to Keith Jackson. They did a good job on him today, but he's up to midfield, under 2 minutes to go. Marino, 10, fields it. His biggest guy today, Mark Ingram. Right flat. Ingram spins. Avoids 2 tacklers. Looking for out of bounds. Can't quite get there. It's under a minute. Go. Tick. 2nd and 1 at the 18. Marino. Ingram. Down to the 7. 37 seconds. Now, does he spike it? He's saying, we're going to spike it. No, he fakes everybody. Look at the line fake. It's a touchdown to Ingram. One of the oldest plays in the look. Watch this, Tom. Get down. I'm just going to throw the ball down. Don't worry about it. Watch the offensive eye. We're just throwing it down. We're not really blocking. Or are we? Trickery. Touchdown. Victory. Dan Marino. You've seen him do things like this before, but you've never seen him do quite that. 29th career, 4th quarter comeback, 5 now against the Jets, who are shell-shocked, who had a chance to be in first place this late in the season for the first time since '86. Instead, they're 2 back of Miami. Afterwards, Marino talked about the winning play.
Well, I was gonna try to stop the clock, and I saw that Mark had man coverage out there, and I just gave him a signal, and he ran a quick takeoff, and I threw it to him, and it worked. And you know, it's first down, and we had time, so we figured I'd take a shot at it, and it worked for a touchdown.
9 out of 10 times we feel that play will work, and I guess when people watch film now, they want to underestimate us. But we've been working on it all since training camp, and it finally paid off.
We needed this win. We needed it bad. We knew that the Jets would have been tied for first, and we didn't want that to happen. We got help on Thanksgiving Day when Buffalo got beat. And this puts us in a good situation now. The important thing is the last couple of ball games have been heartbreaking losses, and today was a great win. All right.
Well, that smile tells it all. Done a good work by Leslie Visser. I could think only of this, Tom. 72 World Series, 3-2 pitch to Johnny Bench. Gene Tennis calls for ball 4. Fingers throws it in there for striking. And Meadowlark Lemon with the rubber band for the basketball.
Spike.
Because Marino fooled everybody, but then again, he's been doing it for years.
Well, another great game and a classic ending by Marino. But when you look at the Jets, you have to feel that they're snake bit. They played an outstanding game, especially the quarterback, Boomer Esiason, the best play faker in the game. He made 2 ill-advised throws on the day. The Dolphins managed to pick off both of them and turn them into something the other way. And as far as the Dolphins are concerned, you have to feel that without Byers and without Terry Kirby, when they finally get far enough behind, when they know we cannot run the ball now and we have to depend on Marino's arm, it's as Gary Stevens told me, their offensive coordinator, I've got a great gun, I'm going to shoot it. And he ought to shoot it even more.
Well, 24 of 30 in the second half alone, Tom, was Marino. He threw for 359 yards. And the 4 touchdown receptions by Mark Ingram ties the Dolphin record, puts him in the record books with Paul Warfield, and that's pretty good company. Well, against the AFC East, why do the Dolphins have a 2-game lead in their division? Because they're 5-1. They've gained almost 1,800 yards. TD to interceptions. You can see that's Marino passing. You can see what his mark is. The rest of the NFL is only 3-3 this year. But 8-4 speaks volumes at this point for Miami, who now have weathered also their last cold weather game. And Steve Walsh, I mean, all the guy does is win for the Bears. Bears Cards in the desert shortly. Marion, but can the Colts or the Pats get to 500 with a win? Join us Sunday Night Football here on ESPN. Well, Robin, it was a point of the schedule the Denver Broncos have been pointing to all year long. Even though they were the second to last team to win a game, Bengals being the last. Right. This 3-game homestand, they figured maybe we can get to 500. We'll roll the dice from there. Could they against the Bengals? Yeah,
especially with that road trip that they have coming up. This is important, their 3rd straight game at Mile High, and they hope to reach 500 for the first time this season, finally erase that 0-4 start and continue their mad scramble to get back in the AFC wildcard picture. That wacky AFC, anything can happen. John Elway and company has won the last 4 meetings with the Bengals. First quarter, 3rd play from the scrimmage. Broncos opening up. Elway finds Anthony Miller, 44-yard pickup, which leads to a 34-yard Jason Elam field goal. 3-0 Broncos. Meanwhile, Bengals looking to continue their success on offense with that man. Blake would have his troubles. He's picked off by Ray Crockett. That leads to another Elam field goal. 6-0 Denver. Then T.J. Moore, Denver defense. Yeah, you watch the right-hand side of the screen here. Dennis Smith on the blitz. Nobody picks him up, and he drives Blake into the ground. He'd have to leave with a twisted ankle for one play. He would return, and Denver goes back to work in the second. Elway finds Miller again. A 15-yard pickup. Elway goes over 3,000 yards passing on the year. Again, the 9th time he's done that, one shy of Marino's record. Then Elway hits Miller. And the back of the end zone, a 16-yard strike. The extra point was no good. Broncos lead 12-3. 15-6 Broncos in the 4th. Bengals offense strikes. Blake, the short out to Carl Pickens. Did I say short? 70 yards. He goes. Watch how he cuts by Atwater. 15-13. Broncos still in the lead by 2 now. Bengals defense would hold to the Broncos. So the Bengals take over. They're driving. Harold Green goes right for 17 yards. Then 2 plays later, Green left. He's popped by Atwater. He fumbles. Elijah Alexander picks it up, goes for an apparent touchdown. But the refs say no, he stepped out of bounds on the Denver 33-yard line. The Broncos would take over. The Bengals' last chance is gone. 15-13 is the final. The Broncos hang on. Elway 21-38 for 239. Jeff Blake 15-33, 215. As I said, Elway's 9th 3,000-yard season. The G-men at RFK, once upon a time, this would mean something. Bad weather in D.C. Eric Howard looking like a gladiator. Henry Eller gets mud removed from his helmet. In the first quarter, 3-0 Washington. Giants on Washington 31. Dave Brown is back, going for it all with Mike Sherrard incomplete, but the flag. Pass interference on, Darrell Green. Not happy about that. The interference set up. Dave Brown, play action, and he keeps it on the bootleg. Touchdown, G-men, TJ. Yeah, and a beautiful job of play action. Look at Ken Harvey and Andre Collins right here biting on that fake. They have outside contain. Although if you're the quarterback, you might have even thought about throwing that one to the fullback and get that statistical touchdown. Yeah, Phil Simms would have thought about doing that. Schuler was ineffective early, but Ricky Irvins was churning up the middle, breaks a tackle. 50 yards before being brought down by Thomas Randolph. That set up a Chip Miller field goal, 7-6 New York. Dave Brown wasn't finished. Late in the second, an efficient drive, complete to Arthur Marshall with a diving catch, 34 yards. Next play, Brown to Chris Callaway, 34 yards. And more importantly, the score. Did I say efficient? 2 plays, 68 yards in 13 seconds, 14-6 Giants. Dave Brown gets the, come on, give him the 5, give it up. Oh, the low 5 from the ref. Second half, 5 minutes left. We get it all here on primetime. Giants up by 9. Time running out. Chris Callaway runs around the end. Stopped by Andre Collins. He fumbles. Martin Bayless runs it back. 60 yards for the score. 21-19 Giants. Dan Reeves thought Callaway was down, but wasn't to be. Dave Brown, though, would seal it. 3rd down. Washington needs to stop the G-men, but Brown scrambles for the 1st down. And oh my, the Giants hold on to win it by a final of 21-19. Brown, 2 touchdowns. Heath Schuler only 11 of 28 for 165, 1 INT. Rodney Hampton, 34 carries for 106 yards. Boomer?
Rob, once upon a time, and I mean in the 20s, the Bears and Cardinals both toiled in Chicago. They only found out about Arizona because Al Capone moved there. Well, now the Cardinals are playing there. Steve Walsh, hey, he's been a gangster. He's been 6-0 this year as a starter for the Bears. Lewis Tillman, the former Giant, had a big game last week. Powers for 11 yards. Did you know there'd be a defensive game? Walsh to Jeff Graham. And he crackers his way up for 17 yards. Then on 4th and 1, quarterback sneak, Walsh, 1st down. He plays within himself. Next play, Walsh, rolling right, tipped by Seth Joyner, but Ryan Wetnight for the touchdown, and it's 7-0 Bears.
Yeah, Joyner, a great job in coverage down around the goal line here. He sees his man go to the flat. He's going to do a nice job of following him in motion. Takes nice inside position, takes away the inside, gets out late, makes a nice tip of the football. Wetnight, great concentration.
Well, concentration for Dave Wannstedt's defense against Jay Schrader. Maurice Douglas, John Mangum Force with the blitz. Bears lead at 10-3 at the half. 3rd and long in the 3rd quarter for Chicago. And Walsh, hey, who says he can't throw? He throws it short and lets Jeff Graham go long, as in 50 yards long, setting up a Kevin Butler field goal and a 16-6 Chicago lead. But comeback for Buddy Ryan's Cardinals. Walsh, this time picked off by Keith McCants, the former #1 pick by the Buccaneers. Let him go. He could go all the way. Keith has found a home in the desert. 45 yards and a dunk. Almost 16-13 Bears. Under 5 minutes to go. The Cards driving 3rd and 2. Schrader to Chad Fan. He's a big fan for 16 yards. Then on 3rd and 12, Schrader under pressure steps up, looks for Larry Self centers. 13 yards and a 1st down. Leads to a Greg Davis field goal. We're timed. Cards get back the ball 16 all late in the game. For the snap, it's Brian Reeves in motion in midfield. Where's the ball? Reeves has it. Can we get timeout? No. We go to overtime. Bears possession overtime, 3rd and 7. Walsh to Graham. Oh, my goodness, a seam in the Cardinal defense. Graham, what a huge day. 45 yards down to the 20. That's set up from the 27. Who did it? The Butler did it. Kevin Butler has put the Bears in the sole possession of 1st place in the NFC Central. No one would have believed this in August. But the Bears, Steve Walsh, 7-0 as a starter. Chicago in overtime beats Arizona 19-16. We're just getting revved up here when we return. Haas and the Raiders facing the fury of the Steel Curtain defense. We'll show you the action from the Mausoleum.
Do you forget everything if you don't write it down? Well, you need Memo-Mate, the new electronic notepad that's as fast as you speak.
Don't forget your 2 o'clock appointment.
And it never forgets.
Don't forget your 2 o'clock appointment.
New microchip technology makes Memo-Mate smaller than a business card and featherweight.
Honey, don't forget to pick up the kids at 4.
It's great for busy schedules, too.
Don't forget to pick up the...
But this is football. Need we say more? Here we go. From Art Shell, he has that look, and Bill Cowher, he has that look. A contrast in coaching styles, but certainly not in results. Both are fine coaches. Mike Tomczak, 2nd straight start for the Steelers. Yancey Thigpen beats the defense for 27 yards. My goodness, Tomczak continues a roll from last week. Kevin Green, boy, he loves that California sun. Once played, of course, for the Rams down the road. And he Steelers stuffed Harvey Williams. Jerry Baldo and the Raiders not impressed. Boy, they have a great front four. And then they stuffed Barry Foster, and then it's more defense, and then it's more Raiders defense. Look at Eddie Anderson come up and lay the lumber to Barry Foster. 52 combined rushing yards in the 1st half. A like a good run-up was Jeff Hostetler. Picks up a tough 5 and a 1st down. And the Raiders. Haas goes over 1,000 yards career rushing, also 10,000 yards for his career passing. But they couldn't avoid Kevin Green. Ray Seals and Green crush Harvey Williams. And then Haas passing. Gary Jones goes up and lands on him. Haas had to leave for a lot of the game with a headache and blurred vision. Enter Vince Evans. Evans hits Tim Brown. He tries to get more. But Tim trying to make a good play into a great one. What happened here, Tommy?
Well, nice job of Timmy Brown catching the ball in traffic, tucking it away. He can see what's in front of him, but right there, helmet right on the football, knocked out. Steelers recover.
So the Steelers would punt. And on the next possession, running game is back. And this Bam Morris, left side for 8 tough yards. Then Bam Morris gets a big hole on the left, courtesy of the center, Dermontti Dawson, and the guard. Duval might as well face it. You're addicted to love. And then the Steelers' Tom Zach passing. It completes a thick pen. Cowher sends in Gary Anderson. A missed 2, 49 to 50 yards. Gary Anderson 0 for 3 today. I don't know if the Steelers could weather this storm. He missed a 26-yarder. He was 0 for 3. Vince Evans back to pass. Greg Lloyd knocks it loose. Boy, those linebackers are everywhere.
It's an art form. Greg Lloyd here, arm, hand, on ball. Evans out. The Steelers recover.
And it's the Steelers' ball. Mike Tomczak doing big, and I mean big, tight end. Eric Green, 16 yards. Boom, get away from me. 14-3 Steelers. Haas is back. But so is Kevin Green, number 91. Hammers him. Next play, Jason Gilden. The rookie had a big game last week, throws him down. Par! And the Steelers have won 7 of their last 8. They have won 4 in a row as the Steelers beat the Raiders impressively 21-3. They're 1-9 at the Mausoleum against Rams and Raiders. Going into that, 175 yards rushing for Pittsburgh against the Raiders. 5 sacks, 2 by Kevin Green. Down the coast, the Hartford Rams were at the San Diego Chargers. Chuck Knox, 1-0 lifetime as a Rams coach at the Murph. Of course, the win was 19 years ago against Tommy Prothro, 1975. Could he get another one? Chris Miller picked off by Dwayne Harper. And Harper, the opportunistic Chargers, first home game of the month. Bring it back to midfield.
Yeah, Dwayne Harper does a good job here of reading Chris Miller. He knows that he has safety help inside, makes a commitment on the football. Stanley Richard coming from the safety spot. Nice pick by Harper.
The Chargers trying to make something happen. Stan Humphries, elbow surgery earlier in the week. Looks for Tony Martin. He has Todd Lightfeet, but no! Tony, who hooked up at a 99-yarder early in this year, drops the ball. Rams, though, do have some good D. They've had a good year despite what doesn't look like a great record. Picked off by Todd Light. On a pass intended for Sean Jefferson. The Rams' 12th interception this year. They had only 11 all last year, so good job, Hartford. Next play from scrimmage. Chris Miller, play fake. Goes to Jesse Hestett, the former Raider. Touchdown, 40 yards, celebration. And the Chargers trying to answer as they're trailing the Rams. Humphries goes deep to Tony Martin. Again, he's got a beat on the defense. Oh, he can't make the play. Bobby Ross will not like that one in the film room. Rams taking advantage of opportunities. Miller, the big tight end, Troy Drayton. He's a good player. 12 yards, touchdown, 14-6. Rams looking for the upset at the half. Wayne Sevier, the longtime special team coach for Joe Gibbs, now knows with Sean Landetta punting, we got to watch out for Darian Gordon. Gordon makes the catch. Look at him spin at the 30. Look at him erase everybody. Gets a block from Andre Coleman, 83. He could go all the way. Second punt return for a touchdown this year. 75 yards. The Bolts are in business as they go for a 2-pointer. Then Stan Humphries. Soft pass. That's Buffalo Bill Ronnie Harmon. And the Chargers lead at 21-14. Rams try to answer. Miller looking end zone. Watch this play by Darian Gordon. Oh, what a circus interception. Already had a punt return. Look at the interception, his 4th of the year. And then Jackie Slater. Age creeping up on Jackie. Hey, you can understand he's been a great warrior for 2 decades. Rams trying for the equalizer, but it's Sean Van Horst. He's on his horse. He gallops in the end zone from Howard University. 50 yards. Lightning bolts. A 25-point second half at the Murph. They're stoked. It's Perth. And the Chargers up their mark to 9-3, beating the Rams 31-17. Means 95 yards rushing. Bettis only 38. Chiefs and the Seahawks. This one had the stench of week-old Chinook salmon being laid out on the banks of the Puget Sound. Even though Marty Schottenheimer's Chiefs had won 7 straight from the Seahawks, Joe Montana found Lake Dawson to put him over 40,000 yards. The 5th player in NFL history to pass for over 40,000 yards. Fitting, he threw it to a fellow Golden Domer, the rookie, Lake Dawson. Joe takes the ball. He's got a few. Neil Smith didn't play. Marcus Allen didn't play. Mark Collins didn't play. But Smith's replacement, Pelham McDaniels, sacking another Golden Domer, Rick Meyer. No time to wallow in the mire, Tom.
Yeah, you watch McDaniel here on the left side of your screen. Makes a nice inside move right there. And then look at the footwork here, or lack of, by Meyer that gets him sacked.
The Chiefs defense held Tom Flores, a team without a first down to midway through the second quarter, 6 at the Kansas City at a half. Third quarter, more defense. Meyer, incomplete. He's hurt on the play. Look at the hit that he takes. Derek Thomas, Tom.
Yeah, and you got to figure out a way to get Derek Thomas blocked. He makes an inside move here. They run a little stunt, puts his helmet right under the chin. Ouch, baby.
He missed the series. Dan McGuire came in, then Meyer came back. But meanwhile, while Meyer walked off, Joe Montana throwing it away in a big crowd, and he sprains his foot. He leaves the field a little bit gimpy. And so Marty Schottenheimer now has to go to, oh boy, even Marty getting hurt on the play. I got you, babe, Steve Bono. So with the score 6-0. Meyer, Brian Blades. Oh my goodness, the Seahawks are down to the 1. 2 plays later, the former Raider Steve Smith touchdown, and Seattle leads 7-6. While Joe Montana took his popsicle toes into the locker room with a sprained foot, the Chiefs get a field goal to lead it 9-7. But Meyer, Brian Blades, 17 yards. That sets up from the 38-yard line. John Casey, it's good, and Seattle leads it 10-9. So, does Steve Bono have you, babe? Marty plans the comeback. Bono to Lake Dawson. He's nailed by Orlando Waters. The ball is loose. Robert Blackman picks it up for the Seahawks. And we told you this had that Chinook salmon smell in the Pacific Northwest, and it happened. The Chiefs now lose to fall 2 back of the Bolts in the AFC West. Seattle 10 and Kansas City 9 in defeat and in the injury. We'll have to check later how Joe is. Joe Montana now the 5th in NFL history to crack the 40,000-yard barrier passing. Doesn't get much better than Tark, Marino, Fouts, Unitas, Joe Montana. But the Seahawks, a team that has just clobbered them over the years, and they get the win. Hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Diego Chargers, I know you want to talk about Pittsburgh, 2 teams stepping up big time, I think, today. Very important wins for both.
Well, I'd like to make a comparison. We talked a little bit earlier about the Eagles searching for identity. It's something that the Steelers don't have a problem with. Bill Cowher is committed to the running game. Early in that game, Raiders stuffing the running game. A little Barry Foster, a little Bam Morris, that offensive line, committed to it. When you saw him late in the third quarter, different story. They started to run the ball effectively.
So we said a big win on the road where the Steelers usually have trouble. Bill Cowher preached 4 W's this week. The 4th was win. I think he got them all, Tom. When we return, game ball time. Yeah, I think you can guess who one of them is. We'll be back. Our honor roll of 100-yard rushers, Rodney Hampton, had some up and some down this year, but his 106 tough yards in the rain win it for the Giants. Leroy Horde, 103 yards in a win for the Browns. 300-yard passers, quite a chart. Boomer in a loss, George in a win, Marino in a win. The 300-yard passers on the day. Game ball time. I'm going to the commissioner, as in Darian Gordon. Commissioner Gordon. Not Flash, the commissioner. He was on a flash here with this Landetta putt. 25 yards, its own 25 yards. I don't think Sean's going to run him down here. He's gone. 75 yards, 2 this year. Punt returns for him. And Gordon also had a big interception we just showed you. At INT, a punt return, he gets my game ball, Rob.
All right, Boomer, you know, yeah, you can guess. A must-win for the Falcons, and Terrence Mathis came up big. He's having quite a season. Mathis caught 10 balls for 124 yards, including 2 touchdowns, and he threw in a 2-point conversion for good measure. As we take a look at his numbers, 10 balls, 124 yards, worthy of my game ball, TJ.
Yeah, my game ball goes to a guy having a great career, and the receiver who was attached to it today, Dan Marino and Mark Ingram. Here you see down 17-0 third quarter, goes to Mark Ingram for a 10-yard score. Then in the fourth quarter, Dolphins down 24-21. Marino, psych, touchdown to Ingram. You see Marino's numbers on the day. Ingram, 9 receptions, 117 yards, 4 TDs.